Hey everybody. Hopefully I'm live. Um, I'm kind of restarting all of my setup because I switched over to Linux and now I'm using OBS instead of Streamlabs. Not that that really matters a lot, but the main gist is I'm not sure if everything is working properly. So just give me a heads up if you can't hear anything, which, you know, it, it now that I think about it, it's kind of counterintuitive them saying that in audio. Um, but also just if you can't see things or something's off, give me a heads up because I I'm grappling with some new stuff here. All right, so today we are going to be playing Riven. Last time you joined me, we had just finished the new version of MYST from 2020, I think was when it was launched. 2020, 2021, somewhere in there. I've been a long time fan of the MYST games, and it's been, I was probably 16 or 17 the last time that I played Riven at all. So it's going to be a little bit interesting going back, and hopefully we all have some fun. I know I'm going to enjoy this, and I hope you guys will too. Be sure to follow if you want to see more of Riven in the future. And if you have any suggestions or comments or whatever, I'm here on the chat. So let's have fun with this, okay? I'm going to get a new game started and let this beautiful thing go.
Thank God you've returned. I need your help. There's a great deal of history that you should know, but I'm afraid that I must continue my writing. Here. Most of what you'll need to know is in there. Keep it well hidden. For reasons you'll discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this. It appears to be a linking book back here to Dunny. But it's actually a one-man prison. You'll need it, I'm afraid, to capture Gan. Once you've found Catherine, signal me, and I'll come with a linking book to bring us back. There's also a chance, if this all goes well, that I might be able to get you back to the place that you came from.
game is kind of loud. I might have to adjust some volume here. Glorious green screen.
Jo? Maar verder ja je. Kijk nou waar even. Dan moeten we wippen met. Tageman. Rekoak. Tageman. Musu rekoak. Wisirap. Wisirap. Umutika buku wa nai. Wisirap. Umutika buku wa nai. Buku wa nai. Wisirap. Buku wa nai. Buku wa nai. Buku wa nai. Buku wa nai.
Alright, so now that the video's over with, few notes about what's happening here. So obviously, you know, it's the sequel to MYST, so we picked up with Atris in Dunning, which is where we last saw him in the first game, of course. The fellow that spoke to us when we arrived here is known as Cho, because it's the first thing he says. You know, Cho, Cho. I believe he was speaking the language of Riven and Gunny in that scene, but I don't remember for sure. But he's kind of one of the right-hand people of the villain in this game. And of course, the first time I played it, I was like, oh crap, he dead, but he's not dead. He's down here, knocked out, and you can see his little knifey thing is actually, or was actually available as something you could buy, merch for the game. You know, they made so many reproductions of it. And as you can also see from the, you know, comparing it to the last MYST game we played, it's point and click, which, you know, the first MYST was, and the first MYST, the original, didn't look as good as this one. The original MYST came out in '93, and this one came out in, I think, '98, so they had a few years of technological improvement. But a big deal for this one is that actually some of the team that worked on this game also worked on the dinosaurs for Jurassic Park. And they used computers like the ones that were used for Jurassic Park to render a lot of it. So yeah, we're back to the point and click era. See, is there anything else interesting we should talk about here? I'm sure other things will pop up. So when the first Myst was made, the video, they were limited to video about the size of a postage stamp. And for this one, they were actually able to do full screen video, as you can see there. And then, of course, they used green screen to be able to insert actual people into the CG world. You could actually like click in on this, but this is a replica of that dagger that's stuck in the ground up here, the giant one. There's some backstory to how that showed up. I'll probably cover that as we play. Because the first Myst book, the Book of Atris, actually tells a bit of the backstory of what's going on in this game. It's been a while since I read the book, but I will try to share whatever knowledge I can from what I remember of the book, and also like the lore of the games and whatnot as we play. So this first island that we're on, you know, in the previous game, we had to find linking books to get around to different places, right? And in this game, it's less like that, because mostly we'll be in the world of Riven, with a few little steps off into other territories, right? But Riven is made up of an island chain that actually used to be one continent. Part of the book and part of the issue that has to be figured out in this story is the fact that the one continent has split up into, I think it's 5 islands, and they're gradually drifting apart, and the world itself is becoming very unstable. So these, well, here, I'll back up a little bit. Let's try not to be so chaotic and ADD about this, shall I? Okay, so this building, this island, is the Temple Island, and this building is a temple that is built to get the villain of the stories. So this is a sacred place for the people that basically worship him as a god. And there's also like an actual like church type thing down here, which is this building, this part of the building. And they leave offerings here for him, and his head appears in there, if I remember correctly. And part of what we've got to solve here is how to get this door open. I believe to get the door open, we have to trick somebody into coming here. I don't recall for sure. And then this is where we can control the little imager in that room. And I should actually check the audio here. Make sure the mix is good so that the game isn't so bloomin' loud. Alright. Let's hope that that's about right. You can shoot me a message, let me know how it sounds to you guys. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I really do not feel like I'm doing a good job doing this one. Okay, so you can see this is basically like a little camera or a view screen for the camera. And what we've got going on is that was actually like the landing or docking area for the maglev, which is a way to get around between the islands. And of course I closed the door instead of going through it. That's just beautiful. Like I said, you know, we want to get this door open, and that maglev landing is on the other side. So we've got to do the right thing to get the guy to come over and open that door. And then obviously we've been down here and we're looking for a way to get under, or you know, through this door and under here. I don't remember. Yeah, you can crawl under. I forgot. Okay. So if you look through here, you can see the temple room. So there's a way to get in from this side. I do think it's funny that it's like, oh, it is so locked and secure, but, you know, just crawl under it, shall we? And then if you've never played this game, I'm sure you're kind of wondering what's up with this thing. We don't have to worry about this until the end of the game, really. Not much, anyway. But this is like a telescope. We're looking into deep space. But it's looking down into the ground. This metal plate is blocking off a fissure. Whoa, that's deep. There's a way to get that working, but I don't recall it at the moment. And then obviously, you know, we were locked in there. The gate got open, but the fellow broke it with one of these knife thingies, so you can't undo it. And Cho is still laying down there. Eventually, he's gonna leave. He'll come to it. He'll be fine. So yeah, like I said, because Gen sees himself kind of like a god, and he lets himself get worshipped as such. These scarab beetles actually are basically like religious images honoring him. So here's Gen writing a linking book. And obviously they make it out like he is being a creator god, right? So here he is creating all of nature and humans and everything. And supposedly, you know, he created the world of Riven. And not to jump the gun too much, but Gen is actually Atris's father, biological father, and he's, you know, they are sort of arch nemesis at this point. Gen abandoned Atris when he was a baby, because Atris's mother died in childbirth. And this is... Here, let me see. What was the last one? I've already lost track. So we looked at this one. This is... Yeah, so this is basically the people of Riven seeing him as a god. And then this is the treacherous sun being banished. So, you know, Gen opened up the earth and fire came out and he threw Atris away into it. And you remember at the beginning of the first MYST game, there was like a crack in the stars, it looked like, and Atris falls through and he touches the MYST book and vanishes. That is this scene being portrayed with Gen's propaganda. Because it was the fissure here in Riven that Atris was actually falling through. And then it again sets up a series of, I guess it's like overseers, viziers, council members, guild. That's it. It's guild members. So here he is setting those up, getting different parts of the island's industries going. I really like these beetles. I think they look so cool. So now, you know, Gen and the people of Riven are creating the magical linking books so that Gen can create more. So it's all a propagandized kind of thing. Okay, so when we went down to that room and looked in, we could see this, right? And the whole temple rotates so that you can access different areas. And now you can see we can peek through here. And there's a locked door over there. I just want to check for fun. Things are any different down here now. Alright, so you can see there's some kind of a room over there, right? But we got to turn it until we can get in from this side. I may actually be jumping the gun because I don't remember if we're supposed to solve this part just yet. But we're going to find out. And I'm just going to, out of curiosity, go down and check in on Cho. Yo, Cho! Wake up, dude! Been like 20 minutes, yo! Alright. The first time I played this game, I spent way too much time not realizing to climb under that door down there. So I just kept turning and turning and turning this room and trying to figure out what the hell I was supposed to do. It was nuts. Here we are. So, same view, different angle. Alright, I'm gonna click on the door every single watch. Okay. So this is that other room we could see you can get into. Alright, so let's try turning it again. I'm trying to get it to where I can get in from the other angle, because once you get in from that locked gate, once you get in from that locked gate area down there, there's another one of these buttons you can push so that you can get to other areas. So yeah, I was saying, again, abandoned Atris. There we go. So that opens that one gate. Again, abandoned Atris after his mother passed. And again, actually left Atris with his own mother, whom he didn't care a whole lot for. And so she was responsible for most of Atris's upbringing and learning and whatnot. And that whole time, Gen was off doing his own thing. And then one day he just shows up and decides, hey, I want to take my son with me. And Atris had a firm grasp on reality from his grandmother, and Gen saw himself as a creator god. So, yeah, there was that. Okay, so this door will be openable from the other side, but that comes later in the game, so spoilers. But the big huge backstory is that I think something like 10,000 years ago, a race of people who lived in another galaxy known as the Dunny, their world was dying, partly because of greed and, not taking care of their own planet and all that sort of thing. But they were capable of writing these magical linking books that would allow them to go to different places in the universe. And the idea is that they wrote these books, and the books would transport them to another part of the universe when you touched the page. And part of the problem was that some people came to see themselves as a creator. They were creating the places they went to, but the truth of the matter is all these places exist in an infinite universe, and you write the book and you link to a place that already exists somewhere, right? And part of the mythology is that the Dunny believe in someone known as the Maker, and the Maker is basically God, right? And so the Maker made an infinite universe with anything you could imagine exists somewhere, right? Let's see, do I want to push this? Yeah, why not? So when you create a linking book, you're just creating a way to get to a place that already exists. And people would get all mixed up thinking that they were actually creating the worlds. And that was part of the Dunny's downfall. But anyway, 10,000 years ago, their world was dying because of all the avarice and whatnot. So some great guild master created a new book and, wrote an age, and that age led the Dunny to a cave deep under the ground of some world. And part of the idea was to make everything, humble the Dunny a little bit. So instead of having this big, beautiful world that they were used to, they were suddenly living in a deep, dark cave that was lighted by phosphorescent algae, basically. I know this is a lot of history, right? And the Dunny lived in this cave for thousands of years, never knowing what was on the surface of their planet. So they ended up building this great shaft that climbed all the way to the surface. And that's when they found out, that they were on a planet known as Earth. And, they lived in this cave under our feet. Okay. So I know that this is like a big steam generator type of room, and that it supplies power to each of the different islands. And the islands are represented by these shapes, and we'll learn more about that a little later in the game. I don't remember what, if anything, we can do at this point in here, because I know there's a way to get up there that we've got to figure out. But this is obviously inside of that big golden sphere. And you can see some of the other islands out there. Wow, I'm already going through this game so much faster than I did the first time. It's kind of nuts. Okay, so I'll come back to the Dunny history lesson here in a moment. So we've powered the steam to where we can do this. And the goal is to be able to get up top on the sphere. Now I don't remember how to get over there so that we can go up the ramp. So we'll have to figure that out in a little bit. Thinking there's I know that this is eventually going to be a button, because this is an elevator. That was the power for that. So there's a way to get over on this side, but that's behind that locked door, I want to say. And this is for raising and lowering that one, which we can't get to yet. Alright. And obviously there's the spinny thing over yonder. Over yonder. Alright, I'm having trouble seeing the chat, so if y'all are talking at the moment, I can't actually see that. So I'm going to try taking a second to see if I can get that figured out. But I think the next thing we're going to have to work on in the game, because I think we've done as much here as we can right now, is getting that door back there open. So for the moment, I'm going to step away and see if we can get the chat issue figured out. And I'm going to take a wee little break.
Okay, I'll reload it.
Hey, Grace, that kind of scared the crap out of me. Oh, wow. Okay. I've got to get the chat thing figured out so I can actually talk to people. So I'll be right back after these messages.
I tell you what I believe.